What's going on, everyone? It's the Poteet Homes Podcast here again, delivering you fresh, new, and you know what? Today we're going to dive in a little bit, and we can't wait to share what we have in store for you today. All right, guys. So we have a special guest with us today, Jennifer, who all of you know. And I mean, really, we're just going to kind of talk about a little bit about what we kind of enjoy most about Poteet Homes. And, let's get this going. I know when kind of thinking of little things to talk about today, some things that we wanted to deep dive into is just kind of who we are and how we started. And I'll let Jennifer kind of take the microphone here and kind of give us a little spill about who you are today, or I know you're a lender, been a lender for a while, and kind of what you do for Poteet Homes, but more of kind of where it all started.
Yeah, so it started back early when I was in college. I want to say around 2012, 2011. I got this vision that our community needed some quality homes, because that's what we lacked and kind of still do lack today. And my dad was there to support us in the beginning stages to get this going. Started with 3 houses here in Poteet, one of which we lived in. Kind of just went from there, from the bottom up. But we did, I know personally, early on knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, business owner. Sonny, I kind of feel like he felt the same way, and it just brought us in this direction with homes and real estate, and we really enjoy doing what we do today.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's cool that we all have a story about where it all started. Well, there was a point where it all started before it even all started. And that was a little bit of us kind of growing up together in high school. And so, like, I know for sure, most of you guys probably don't know that we, kind of started really being good friends early on in our lives. And we just kind of grew with common, likes in what we're doing in our lives, right? We're both hustlers. We're both really just interested in knowing what's outside of just the normal, 9 to 5 kind of career. And so we started really hitting it off through junior high school, and our aspirations began to get, wider and larger, and understanding that when we would take similar classes in high school, we were like, man, this is cool and all, but like, I don't want to just be, a 9 to 5 employee. Like, we started kind of just envisioning being business owners as a whole. And then fast forward a few years later, Oscar, who is Jennifer's dad, the owner, and Jennifer kind of started off this custom home building business, and I kind of hopped on graciously, and it's just been kind of really seeing our dreams and aspirations into fruition. And it just always feels like it's just getting started. And so going back to where it all started, I just think it's important for you guys to know that I think this was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first house you built together?
Ooh. It had to be one on Joyce Marlene, I think. We have pictures back when Sonny, we both started from the ground.
I'm kind of upset that you said that, because it was the house we lived in our lives. That was the first house
we built, but he said together.
Yeah, together.
So back then,
I thought you meant like figuratively, not like literally.
Oh.
Like, we built this house together.
Yeah.
As a family.
So I would say one in Joyce Marlene. Sonny and I were both on the ground, working those, speaking to contractors, cleaning up. Gosh, we used to do the sheetrock touch up, paint, stuff like that, cleaning. I remember being 9 months pregnant, cleaning a house, laying grass. I mean, we started from the bottom, which helped us understand and see everything that goes on with our subs too. It just helps us in the office to be more
aware,
aware
or just
and
experience, right?
experience to help our clients and even our employees. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being able to just kind of being able to see the ground up is definitely humble beginnings. I tell everyone the story about how I would just pray, that the Lord would bless us to build one house this year, and that was enough, and just to be able to serve now multiple families in a year, or through a couple of years, and then serve even their family's family, is something that I feel like we prayed for and that we envisioned, and we are.
Yeah, we get to employ our family, which is an even bigger blessing. Just blessings on blessings.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little rough sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, that's actually a really good point, because our kids even come in here, and I think they see themselves even working here, and our families that are working here, even their family members work here, and also maybe envision themselves being in a real estate career. And I think it's cool that we don't ever really forget where we came from, and we are super appreciative of the foundations that this community has set for us. And I think it's really created who we are today. And that, to me, I mean, it's pretty cool to talk about, for sure.
Yeah, and to even see the evolution of the homes from the beginning, how it started, to the kind of homes we're building now, has been really neat too. Different things we get to incorporate now, and
yeah, just to be able to provide opportunities for people that, especially in our community and the surrounding areas, that really didn't have an option for, right? It was like, hey, you know what? My mom owns this land. She gave it to me when she passed away. I'm going to put a mobile home on it. And then they come in our office, and there they are, maybe considering building a custom home, where maybe a mobile home might be good for, people still. Mm-hmm. However, it wasn't even an option to build a home for a lot of people just a few years ago here in this area. So I feel like, we're just really, super grateful that we were granted this opportunity from our Lord to be able to really just be here and be a staple of our community, be a beacon of our community to others outside of this community, because we have people coming from out of state, people coming from other cities that want to be in Poteet, and I feel like our product has a lot to do with that, right? That people are interested in this area because of, oh wow, you know what? There is a decent product that we believe in, and it's actually better than decent, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's like it's an actual opportunity that's there for people to come in from Laredo, from even up north of San Antonio. So it's been just crazy to be a part of it. And like I said, I just don't feel like we're even breaking the barriers yet. Like, there's still so much we want to bring and do here for others. I mean, what do you envision, I guess, kind of going forward, right? Like, I know we started off, maybe dive in a little bit about that.
Well, we started off on the ground, like we mentioned, early in 2012 time, building houses. So we funded them ourselves and then sold these houses. We kind of do a combination now of where our clients will get funded and we build exactly what they want. But I went into the lending side of the construction, so now I approve buyers to build a home or even buy a home. And Sonny went into the realtor side, which both have to do with custom homes, and so that's how we expanded in our areas as well.
Right. So I've always had a passion to be able to kind of be in front of people and problem solve for them or with them. And me being able to have versatility for my clients was important. And so I've always been really interested in hearing what the clients have to problem solve on and come up with a solution. And one of those was, being an agent allowed me to serve clients even further on listing their home or helping them find properties that they had questions about that maybe another agent would not be able to answer, because the experience of not knowing what a land parcel actually is, if it's good for build, right? Is it soil good for build?
Flood zone,
Are there flood zones?
any encroachments or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. So just overall.
Or the cost of utilities. Sometimes, the land price is great, but it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get you some water and sewer in there, and that's something that not all realtors are aware of, and so they're not able to share that information with their clients.
Yep. So it's cool because before we were actually in our respective
Roles.
well, I mean, like our accomplishments, right? You became a lender, but before that, what's cool is that you have all the experience of new construction, right? We have 10 plus years of experience in construction, so we're gonna come from like a real good place of experience and knowledge when we work with you, and to me, that's like our biggest value for you, and understanding that we worked hard to create what we have today, and we always keep that close to our heart, and we're essentially always going to keep the humility forefront in our business. Like I always mention in every podcast, who has it better than our office other than, who has it better, because Lainey is like the first person you see. Like, I don't think there's anyone else that has a director of first impressions like we do. So it's like a full team that we have here, and I'm just super ecstatic about it, because I don't think we really ever envisioned not only that our business would grow and be on the path to continue to grow, but not only grow, but also share it with close family and friends is super cool. At least that's what I'm like constantly like just kind of being reminded of. But I mean, let's talk about a little bit more about like you, Jen. I mean, you say started from the ground up, but like, what does that even mean? Like ground up, like, okay, picking up trash, right? Or I don't know, like what?
Literally picking up trash as well, but being there when our concrete guys formed, they did the foundation form, first step in anything, or even doing some pads or some dirt work or site prep. I was there learning and seeing what all that meant, because, okay, you can say site prep, but what does it entail? Making sure your land is even, taking out the vegetation, so that there's not anything in your foundation. So learning all of that, what kind of materials are they putting in the concrete, it's meeting contractors, because you do when you're building your company, you're going to go through a few, there's some you're going to stick with, and of course pricing is a factor, and most importantly quality is a factor, and stuff like that. And so learning different subs and their responsibilities, how they work, timeline on everything, what we should expect, how long something takes, all of that. The language, you hear tongue and groove, you hear soffit, you hear fascia, you hear 24-inch on center, 16-inch on center, roofing, shingles, all these things that if you're just jumping in, you have no clue, But I was really thankful. You would think that it's I would say man industry, for the subs. You're not going to see a lot of ladies out on site working and building these homes. And so I was never afraid, guys, to ask these people questions if I didn't know from the beginning. What is this, and why are you doing this, and what's going on? And every one of them treated me good, and they explained everything. They never looked down on me. They kind of walked me through any questions that I had. And so that's helped me in where I am today as well, and the knowledge that I have in construction.
Yeah, I think that was probably your strongest suit, because I never could get that down as good as you. Like being able to talk to contractors, like I feel like I have to arm wrestle them every time. But like you have a way of being able to talk to them. Maybe it's the beautiful smile. Anyways, I mean, it could be. Jeez, I'm just trying to be real here. So I think that was cool, right? Like like being able to say, hey, electrician, or hey, framer.
And even too, kind of pricing, you know, you're going into, and if you, let's say you reach out to somebody and like, okay, I'll do it for so and so amount, is that a good price? You know, and then just learning the ins and outs, and what's a good price, what's not, what's negotiable, what you should negotiate and what you shouldn't, you know, things like that.
Yeah, well, you know, and like whenever we first started building, I think it's cool to know that even those first clients of ours were also patient with us. You know, like Virginia Rodriguez, shout out to you. Thanks for trusting us. And there's a whole bunch, you know, like Trey Alanis, you know, Andrew Davila. They just were super understanding that, you know, we're building a quality product that we've built before. However, going through the selections phases and them understanding, you know, that we're also growing and learning. And they were super cool. You know, they were super chill. And I think it helped us kind of really become well acclimated to the process. And you know, even to like Buck Dove, all those first custom homes that we built, they were super understanding and super cool. And we knocked it out the park for them, you know, nonetheless, right? Like as far as us getting in there, deep diving and understanding like, hey, these are the materials and options that we have, and them knowing like, hey, you know what, that's what they are offering, this is what we're getting. And the whole contract process was brand new. And in 10 years, 12 years fast forward, it is like, you know, it's like night and day as far as being able to, our process is seamless and even much more refined at this point.
Well, now that you mentioned that too, so early on, even from our first build, if you ask me, I have a binder this thick, I would keep every copy of everything that came in from the build, and we still do, but now we put everything into the drive,
the digital format.
We've changed the way we log everything. Sonny's done a great job of implementing some new technology because we're kind of old school. And so just seeing on the back end, our programs grow in that way.
True.
Yeah, I probably hand wrote stuff.
Yeah, well, I know we used to do a lot of estimates on Excel. I remember you created the first spreadsheet, and that first spreadsheet was like 35 line items. And like today they're like 90.
I'm trying to think how I even started that one. I think my dad had to have helped me for sure to even know. Or since it was something we had first built, I just logged every price and
from the first homes.
Everything I paid out, every subcontractor, and it became a line item that helped for the next one and the next one. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I remember because there was a time whenever I think you had went through something and you were down for like a couple of weeks, and there were still clients asking like for pricing. And I remember the day I was
Early
like,
on?
I think before our kids. Maybe it wasn't. Anyways, there was just a time when we were building homes, and then, you know, I was like, dude, I gotta do this on my own now. Like,
I remember, I think we were building JR's home, and I had just had Arlo, if I'm not mistaken, that I remember being down. Or
that was another time.
Oh.
Nah. So bottom line is like, you know, we just kind of had to be able to have that attitude of figuring it out, coming up with, and by the way, guys, figuring it out was like a phrase that I had here in this office that is kind of tough to use nowadays, because, you know, when you tell someone figure it out, it's kind of like leaving them to no man's land, you know what I mean? Like, so I've been doing better at least saying, hey, let's figure this out together. And that's really helped.
But I think
in the
when
office.
Sonny maybe says figure it out, is because we had to figure it out, and not figure it out as that I don't want to help you, but figure it out so that way you can learn exactly what it takes, or what this item is, what it's about, or whatever. You can learn more about it yourself than us just telling you the answer, you know, because we did. I mean, my dad helped a lot, but we had to learn on our own.
Yeah, no, your dad was definitely instrumental on the backbone for you. I just hopped in and kind of started filling in where I filled in. And we kind of just figured it out, to be honest with you. And we've had a lot of help along the way. Like,
but he had experience. So he had built his own home himself, and then he had, I don't know at that time, I think it was all of them, 8 apartment units that he had built. So he knew, and so it was just about him sharing that information that he knew with us. Plus, I mean, our uncles, even our on-site guys, JD and Manuel, they've been in the game, gosh, I don't even know how many
30 years apiece.
Or yeah, and my dad's dad did stucco, so everyone was already in the construction business. So it was just bringing that knowledge over to us and kind of building this company.
Yeah, we can't miss the fact that through this, yeah, we mentioned, you know, it was you and I, or however, there were a lot of people that are instrumental. Like, obviously your father, my father would, you know, let us use his Suburban. Like, I don't think I even had a vehicle, and I was using my dad's Suburban to pull trailers, and even like from our parents watching our kids.
Me and my dad we went to go pick up some tile at Floor and Decor, and we almost flipped in his Escalade because he was trying to pull this trailer that was too heavy.
Overweight.
It was scary, but yeah, I guess the memories, you know, they're fun. I'm glad we didn't flip. But
Me too.
yeah,
babe.
learning. We don't pick up tile anymore. We do not pick up tile, but it was fun, and we've learned, you know, different things.
Yeah, I think between Jen, I mean, you have like what, 8 family members here?
Working with us?
Yeah, like Joanne, Lainey.
Manuel, JD, Vanessa, Sydney, 6.
Like blood, right?
Yeah, blood. Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to catch up. I mean, my favorite one that I have here is Stacy, obviously. I saw you roll your eyes, girl. I saw you. Definitely favorite is Stacy, you know what I mean? It comes from that Santos side, you know, where, you know, don't let the last name fool you. Santos is a saint,
5.
but I have 5.
Well,
Yeah, so
Stacy, Vern, Conrad.
Dad, right?
Oh, 4.
4. You could throw Chris in there.
Ozzy.
Yeah, Ozzy. No, Chris could have Ozzy. Yeah, well, you need a little family here too, man. So we have a whole bunch of family here, and I think a lot of people don't even know that we're a family-owned and operated business, like straight
Sonny,
up, like truthfully.
Because you mentioned Stacy. So Stacy started with us, and she was just telling me yesterday it's going to be about 3 years.
Barely?
Right?
Feels like-
Stace, 3. Oh, what the?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 years. Sorry.
2 years as.
Okay, well then Vanessa told me 3 years, and Vanessa's 3 years. But even then, so I mean, when we started selling these homes, if you asked our first clients, we started marketing in our home. We would bring them in our home. I would show them, you know, this carpet material. I would show them different layouts that I had of selections, basically, kind of walk them around our house since we had lived in a home that we built. Show them what we could modify, things like that. We went from basically using our home as our office to then moving to my dad's, and we were in his upper loft, so it was a big open area, which started off as just me and you. Then it went to me, you, and Stacy. Then it went for me, you, Stacy, Joanne,
Yeah,
Kayla, and then
Manuel?
yeah, we probably jumped Manuel and JD on them, but they weren't in the office. So we had like everyone 4 corners facing different ways. Sonny's
One
meeting
room.
with clients in the middle of the table, and we're all there pretending like we're not listening to anything, trying to work right there. I mean, and then of course my dad owned this building, decided we needed space, which, I mean, gosh, if we went from 1 loft to now 1, what is this? 3, 4, I don't even know, 9 offices, and we're like, wow, this is a lot. You know, we don't need this much space. Let's let InZone use the back. You know, they were actually at my dad's office too, They transferred over here. And now we're like, dang, we should have got that space because we've just expanded so quickly. I mean, how long have we been in this office? I think in August will be 3 years. I want to say August will be 3 years that we've been here in the office.
I'm afraid that if we would have had that space that End Zone has, you probably would have kicked me out over there. Like, so I think it was a blessing, bro. Yeah, I would have had my own unit B in the back, like. So there was definitely a reason for that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you know, to have our own media room that we can go in there and they can create, and we have a space for that, you know. And
yeah, that would.
We just didn't take that into mind. We didn't do it beforehand, you know. I don't know why.
I think you're right. We didn't do a lot of it. We tried. We started towards the tail end of the movie.
I think sometimes we question, you know, do we bring value to people outside of Poteet Homes? You know, is what we're sharing gonna help them? And even today, I kind of doubt myself even now sometimes. I mentioned to Lainey, you know, I know some of it, and she's like, no, Jen, you know a lot. And I'm like, okay, maybe I do, you know, maybe I do know a lot, and I take what I know for granted, you know, or that everyone knows it. But doing these podcasts now, we can help share in our experience, not just, you know, if people are interested in building a home, great, you know, we'd love to have your business, but not too, we want to inspire young couples or people out there that want to build a business that, you know, just believe in yourself, surround yourself with family. Joanne's always prayed and had great visions for this company. You know, you got to surround yourself with good people, build a strong foundation, and then just show up every day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can say any better than that, to be quite frank. There are times when it was definitely you know, where you start, like you mentioned, doubting, like, dude, what the heck am I doing? However, whenever you become in your career, there's typically a turning point or a fork in the road where you're like, okay, is this what I want to do forever, or is this a career path that I'm happy with? And the ultimate decision is made whenever whatever it is. It could be any career choice or any life choice, is that if you commit to it, the rewards are going to be exponential. Like, meaning no matter what it is that you dive into, as long as you commit to it, you're going to get what you put in. And so whenever I chose to, whenever I had the opportunity to hop on to the family business, at that time I was a school teacher, and let me tell you, it was hard walking away from kids. Very hard. No, I was just kidding. I mean, it was kind of hard.
It probably was hard. You enjoyed it, and even now, I think you've sold some homes for some of the kids that you
yeah, I was coaching. Yep.
So Sonny loves sports. Sonny grew up playing sports, and Sonny grew a passion for even coaching sports. Still coaches sports now for our kids, but I think you did miss that coaching aspect of, you know, being a teacher or being there around the kids. But yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason. You jumped on the team probably at the exact moment we needed you, and it kind of just took off from there.
Yep. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you commit to something, you're definitely gonna get out the rewards that you probably never imagined. And that is what this is to us today. We're committed. We see a vision here that is past of where we're at today. We're tapping into different markets that, like I said, we would always, dream of as a 5-year-old or as a 7-year-old, like, hey, look at those homes over there, or look how beautiful is that home one day, to be able to be in a home like that. And then now we're creating it for other people. You could not put money on it and tell me that was going to happen to me, onto our family. And being able to put people in my family in positions to allow them to be successful, and as far as all of our family, right, collectively, is something that you wake up to as a kid, looking up at the ceiling, laying on your bed, and you're like, man, if mom or dad didn't have to do this anymore, if if they could just have an air condition, right? If they could just have food on the table consistently, like those were the challenges as a kid growing up that I wanted to solve. And maybe not those exact challenges, but essentially that as a whole, right? Being able to just say, I want dad to drive a vehicle that has air condition, or, you know, just simple things that you know, you want to see in your parents, see in your relatives. You know, I tell a story, not very often, but, you know, very proud of certain people in my life. And one of them is Stacy, just to be able to see her growth throughout her career and being able to commit to it has definitely been cool to see, been amazing to witness how, you know, growing up, I wouldn't always see them as often. However, now we get to see them, you know, quite often enough now. So it's just cool. Like it actually it's bringing our family together, and we do. I know your family always does family events, and it's just been amazing, and being an inspiration to you. If it's you know, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, young, or whoever it may be, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? Don't sit back and wait and hope for opportunities to come to you. You're gonna have to really dive in, and you're gonna have to be uncomfortable probably 100% of the time. So if you're willing to do those things, then you could have room to complain about why you're not at certain places. But if you're not going to put in the work and put in the time, then, you know, there's really no point of you sitting back like, why me? That whole attitude is not going to really get you anywhere. So you really need a deep dive and really figure out who it is in the mirror that you're looking at every single day. And if you could if you could look in that mirror and be happy with what you see, then you're on the right track. Or maybe you're not happy with what you see. You still could be on the right track, but you have an opportunity to fix whatever it is that you're looking at that time. And, you know, it's very special for us to be in front of you, be able to push out this content, and be able to kind of have, you know, my lovely wife here with me, and here together, kind of expressing what it is that's meaningful to us. And, you know, without, you know, much more to say, I mean, that's kind of our story in a roundabout way. Cool. All right. As always, guys, it's such a pleasure to bring it to you real, raw, live, and from the heart. And we're so ecstatic to have you in our lives. If you are looking to build, buy, or sell, don't hesitate to reach out at 210-201-3570. Please like, share, and subscribe on all our platforms. And again, guys, if your life is waiting to be changed, make the change now. Come see us. All right, guys. See y'all soon. And from Jennifer and I, we'll see y'all next time.